Hello everyone, Zero in the house! Welcome back to another episode of World of Vision Final Fantasy Brave Exvius new content overview, where we have a look at what's new every week in World of the Vision. This time around we have raid. I can remember, I feel like the last raid wasn't too far off, so I guess that's pretty good, especially keeping account what's in store for us. But yeah, let's keep going on to the meat and potatoes of this week, which is the raid, where we'll be able to fight Elafikeras and Lich. So, let's have a look at what this new week's content is all about, and we'll start with the summons. As we are present to start up, we can get the golden Ahriman vision card and Esper, and we'll be able to do that with a 5-step guaranteed, which is nice. Only 10,000 free vision, can't complain with that, especially if you have Jeume. I think this is the best in slot, Esper, and probably VC for her. So let's have a look at what the vision card is all about. So, stats. Once you max this card, your whole team will get wind unit magic attack resistance up by 20, wind unit attack up by 25, and wind unit dexterity up by 35. So in comparison to 2B's card, obviously it's not as good in regards to the wind attack and dexterity, but you know, keep in account that we'll be having new mechanics coming up soon in regards where we'll be able to have 2 vision cards. That should kick off just about the 2nd anniversary of the year. I think it's still a good card to have as a spare, and now with the fact that we have the challenge board for this card as well, if you want to build it up, pretty good moment to do so. And if you have Jeume, as I said before, it's probably kind of must pull, since the Esper is quite tailored for her. As you can have a look from the screen right now, I did a kind of pre-build in regards to what I would recommend, how to build this Esper, let's say. Now, if you assign this card to a wind unit, yes, that wind unit will get attack up by 10%, unit attack resistance up by 10, and max HP by 20%. So keep in account that if you want to give this card to Jeume, she'll get a further boost to her already large pool of HP, so can't complain about that. Moving on. We'll be getting tickets to attempt getting Golden Ahriman tomorrow, I think. So this is the banner in which we'll be able to do so. Other than that, I would probably not recommend anyone to try this one out. Moving on, well, we do get 5 UR vision cards guaranteed for 2k paid. I guess probably want to wait around the anniversary. That's when we'll get the good deals again, which is 10 vision cards for 2k paid. Definitely skip this one. Because we do have 5 UR guaranteed for 2k free vision. We definitely have had that in the past, so this is big downgrade. And if you want to be proactive, and even if you're not pulling for the card, it'll be good to get those 10 shards a day via guild banner. Okay, let's go on to the shop. Shop today is very basic, no special deals. We only have the Winter Deluxe shop. What does this entail? They'll probably be able to give you Black Garb +3 for paid vision. Actually, after last raid, I wouldn't recommend doing this because it is gonna be quite evident that we'll be able to build the second copy of the raid item only up to +4. In a situation for the Black Santa code, I think it was worth it. Even though you ended up with a +4 and only needed 3 recipes, you'll be able to actually farm those recipes now. So all in all, it wasn't a bad loss if you ask me. I mean, I didn't get the paid deal, and I was able to build a +4 with 48 recipes, so I don't need much to go with a +5. So pretty happy with how I went. So in a situation where you probably bought the Santa Claus, you only need 3 recipes, so it'll eventually work out for you. Yes, you had to wait a bit longer. We weren't really able to build 2 +5s, but you know, a +4 is still better than nothing, if you ask me, especially with winter coats. Moving on, yeah, I would definitely not touch anything else in here. Let's go into the free banner. Get those multi-raid pots for free every day. And other than that, I probably wouldn't get a Rasalgeti +5. You can definitely build that, or if, I mean, in a situation where you're new and you don't have any guns, maybe go for it. But any other player should probably stay away from this and save their vision. And Lohengrin +5, I wonder why this is included here. I suspect that because slash wind is the element in which Elafikeras is weak to, there might be some people that want to use what's his name? Forgot his name now. I can't believe it. The Chrome guy. So far out. What's his name? Now I need to find out his name. Yes. So in a situation where you guys want to use Howlet for your raid, solo raid, he'll be able to get extra damage in there. So that's that. And yeah, nothing else really to talk about here. Let's probably skip everything else. We'll talk about the mock shop during the raid segment. Let's go into the far plane. We can farm book this time around, so I think we can farm the same book as last week. So in a situation where you definitely need more books for this raid's armor, you'll be able to farm them through here. And let's delve onto the raid. I'm actually pretty excited about this one. So this time around, as you can already see from my screen, the standard raid enemy is Elafikeras. Elafikeras is weak to wind and slash, so obviously they try to promote Jeume and pulling her and making her kind of valuable as a damage dealer, but she really isn't. So I hope you're not using Jeume as your main damage dealer. I am just using level 99 Lucia for now. I am possibly thinking of yaxing her. We'll have a look at her kit a bit later. Rare raid this time around is Lich. After you beat Lich for 5 times, you'll be able to get his VC and Esper, and I think it's okay. I mean, like, I can't think of many Earth magic dealers except for Kilfe and probably Livial, but what I'm mostly interested in is the Esper. If we have a look at how I spec the Esper, I think there's a strong case for having an anti-Ibarra Esper with the Demon Killer and Lightning Eater. So, I mean, like, I wouldn't completely write off this card, especially going forward into limited CM matches and limited guild battles where people might want to showcase her. I do think that there is a valid case for this Esper, especially in global. Once you get the card in the far plane, you'll be able to get the high difficulty and brutal difficulty to farm the shards for that vision card. So pretty much standard if you've been around since the last raid. Moving on, let's have a look at what's around this time into the mock shop, especially for the raid. So as we can have a look, we have Black Garb. You'll be able to farm the recipes for this, so you'll be able to make at least a +5. And then you can also farm the final winter coat recipes that you need for a second +5. Definitely recommend doing that as well. And yes, as secondary recipes, you'll be able to build a Soul Samasa and Brigandine. I think a spare Brigandine is also good to have, especially now that we're moving towards the AoE meta. Let's say there's going to be a lot of units that are going to be focused on dealing AoE damage. So if you have a way of mitigating that, especially for your tank, definitely good to have at least a spare one in case you have a damage dealer, physical damage dealer that is going to be frontlined and soaking up some damage as well. So definitely recommend that. But there's only so much you can do in 1 week, so definitely put your priorities straight. And yes, I do like the Black Garb compared to the Winter Coat. They're very similar. They're 2 dodge focused, evasion focused equipment. However, one is more tailored towards dealing damage, as we can see from the penetration on the Black Garb. Whereas the Winter Coat is more kind of defensive towards light attack. Yes, also in regards of dodge and evasion, there might be a little bit less points onto the Black Garb, but I still think that it's a very compelling piece of equipment. I think I'll make a +5 at least for my assassins, so they'll have more dodge, and once they do their Death Down Blade, they'll actually be able to penetrate whatever defense is existing, so that then they'll be able to do more damage with that skill. So that's my thought process over here. So perhaps I will make this for fencers and assassins primarily, but everyone else that can equip a sword can probably do with Winter Coat. Okay, now we can move on to the story, and we do have a new piece of 10 new battles for it. Obviously I need to go through them, so we'll find out what's been happening on the west side of Ardras, and yeah, pretty interesting to see what's happening there. Before we end the video, let's have a look at the new EXable units, and we'll start with Lucia. So what is Lucia's kit all about? Let's have a look. Here I can see a couple of nodes. They're a bit all over the place. I can see a lot of luck and dexterity, so they're probably gonna try and increase her accuracy. I don't remember her being an evade unit. Does she have reflex though? Yeah, she does have a reflex. And that actually brings the fact that I should probably raise her fate. And nonetheless, at job level 19, she'll get an enhancement to firing stance, which pretty much the only thing that changes is that she'll get a range +1. Can work in big maps. In small maps, maybe you'll be a bit nerfed. So in a situation where you don't have Jeume like me, and I need that third wind guy, if you consider the current setup of the current wind unit, where you have 2B as an evade damage dealer, you have Tifa as a kind of courage tanky. She can be evaded too, as I've noticed. So Tifa is more a jack of all trades, and then you can have a rear end damage dealer such as Lucia. This could be good, as I said, in a big map, but in a small map, I think you're probably going to be nerfed because she won't be able to buff herself. We keep in account that she's an attack-oriented unit. She probably want to go ahead first and try to support Tifa in 2B, and I think that can be detrimental. Yeah, I mean, obviously this skill is, as I said, map dependent. If you're in a small map, probably disable it. It does suck because it does have good buffs, but you know, it's something you might want to consider whether it works for you or not. Now, another one I see here is another range 1 in terms of upgrades, and then he also gets more AP. So I think in this case it will be probably worth doing. Again, you have to weigh the pros and the cons of having range +1. So if you do this, you know, and get range +2, even, I don't know, can you get range +3 here? Yeah. Yes, you can actually get up to a range of +3, so she'll become an extremely long range unit, and this can be extremely detrimental, especially if you're gonna rely on her on buffing herself before attacking. So definitely, this I think is one of the first unit that I can think of that is very map dependent, and perhaps would perform very poorly in a small map. So yeah, she's not really plug and play, but you know, if you like hard units to work with like me, then you know, you'll probably find a way to make her work. And then on job level 25, she does get Spiteful Blast, which will deal medium modifier damage, inflict slow and piercing. So that means that as we can see here, the shot will go through whatever unit is in the path of the projectile, and I do like that it does have a diamond shape. I can't think of a piercing attack that has a diamond shape, so I think it's a pretty good skill for her to have. And yes, with the fact that she has reflex and also now slow, it's probably worth having her fate over 50. Again, you're not, with all the range that she has, you probably don't want her to be in the front line at all. So that's something that might work on her favor. Now, let's have a look at the next unit. And I think that is Lilith, isn't it? Okay, here we have one, 2, 3 agility node. I definitely appreciate that because she's quite slow. And then we have dexterity and luck again. Some defense. So dexterity and luck will increase her accuracy, which is good for an MR unit. And upgradable HP node, kind of wasted in my opinion. But yeah. Job level 19. Her AP break will become AP crusher, so they'll increase range. That means that the unit doesn't need to be directly in front of you for you to inflict this debuff for this break, which is really good. I mean, if you're against the Pierce unit, like with spears, not as good of an upgrade, but you know, against everyone else, still good. Then job level 22, divine healing enhancement, enhances divine healing to divine virtue, raises HP, and then it will also bestow AP auto restore, which is amazing. I think this is actually what she always needed. I can't make her work without bells, and she doesn't have many TP skills, so there's no other way for her to use her ranged abilities without then having to do normal attacks to restore AP. So this is actually this is gonna be one of the skills that you have to have enabled no matter what. Divine healing typically is not a very good skill, but in this case, with this upgrade, definitely a must-have, especially in competitive play. And then a job level 25 AP Devastator. Deal large damage to targets within range and reduce AP in an AoE pattern. Whew. I think that she's definitely set herself as an AP breaker as a specific role. Yes, I think her main role as a knight is already as a breaker, as a stat breaker, but this makes her even further niche in regards of breaking AP. I think this will work extremely well against physical units, but I'll be keen to try it out on magical units, which already have 50 to 75% of their AP gauge already filled, and see how that works in regards of trying to nerf those guys. Alright, let's check Sasha. And Sasha, let's see, what does she get? Attack, luck, bit of agility, lots of attack. So definitely focused on being a one-hitter quitter, especially being an SR. They're not very well known for being resilient to damage. There's that. So job level 19, horizontal jump enhancement. Enhances range height, deals large damage to target after jump delay, and chance of inflicting silence for 3 turns. This already makes me think that she's trying to be a mage buster. So horizontal jump already has a very large area of effect, not in regards of height, but in regards of map range is really good. So this will be actually quite good against mages, because they would probably tend to distantiate themselves from the rest of the group to deal damage. Obviously, bar exceptional cases, but most mages will probably try to have hate down or like be slower and be in the back lines. And I mean, like in manual PvP, this would work, because in auto PvP, Sasha would just go for the first unit that comes across and use this. But yes, in manual PvP, I think this will work very well. So, case scenario, class match. Job level 22, Dragon Skin enhancement will raise on attack and spirit for 3 turns and raise CT, so that will make her faster. Pretty good, as again in a class match where you probably have your cost 100 units, and maybe a cost 100, cost 190 unit. This will probably make her on par in regards of stealing turns and getting her turn quicker, and prevent her from being targeted first as well. But it's not that game changing. I think it's still good for her to act quicker nonetheless. Then job level 25, jamming dive. Destroy any barrier that reduces physical damage on target, then deals large damage to target within range after jump delay, and cancel ability activation. Pretty small range. Height is okay. Doesn't really rock my world, to be honest, but it's still a good thing to have. What could this work against? I mean, the first thing that pops in my head is Black Rose Helena. She does have a physical barrier on her TMR, but what are the chances of you surviving BRH when she gets her turn, Can't really see a case scenario where this will be useful, unless obviously we're talking class match, since most tanks would have a barrier raised up regardless. Anyway, let's end the video. I hope you guys, if you were chasing for Jeume, I hope you guys also have some spare visor for the golden Ahriman. If you didn't manage to get Jeume, I hope that you'll be able to recover and replenish your visor stash as soon as possible, especially keeping account that we're going to have some pretty good collaboration in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great continuation of the week and enjoy the content and the raid this time around. You guys have a good one. Bye for now.